Coming up on OC News, we will be discussing how this Valentine's Day could be more expensive than ever. After that, see how the Rams will be celebrating their huge Super Bowl victory here in Orange County.
And learn about the new outdoor seating areas that have been popping up here on campus. All this, plus more, starting now.
This just in tech news. First responder on
There's been a lot of collaborative efforts
feel
over the years.
blessed to be here in Fullerton.
Brought to you by the broadcast journalism students
at Cal State Fullerton. OC News starts right now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us here at OC News. I'm Elena Malik.
And I'm Jacqueline Garcia. OC News is presented by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. Last night, the LA Rams took home the Super Bowl title and headed to Orange County to celebrate at the happiest place on earth. Less than 24 hours after the Super Bowl game, MVP Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, and Aaron Donald celebrated their big win at Disneyland last night after the game. The three players said the first place they were headed was to Disneyland. Fans gathered around Main Street to celebrate and watch the Rams float go by. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and all their friends are also came out to celebrate the Rams' victory.
Anyone living in California knows that the state is parched and has been for more than 20 years, especially Southern California. A new study found the western U.S. experienced its driest conditions in 1,200 years from 2000 up until now, and it's not letting up. Last month, Los Angeles saw less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. It was the 8th driest January on record. The study's authors say 42% of the drought can be blamed on climate change caused by human activity. Specifically, burning fossil fuels has had a direct impact on water availability. As for when it will end, scientists say it will take several years of above-average precipitation to end the mega drought. The study was published in the journal Natural Climate Change.
Water isn't the only shortage we are experiencing. Red Cross is on campus 2 times a week because blood has been in short demand due to COVID-19. Annette has more on the story.
Cal State Fullerton has had many blood drives. This time they are in need of blood due to COVID-19. What's your full name?
Ahad Hussain.
What's your major?
Computer science.
Computer science?
Yeah.
It's your first time getting your blood drawn?
No, it is not.
Okay. What made you come out here today?
I have the blood donor app, and it just lets me know when I'm eligible. And since I was eligible today, I came out to donate.
Okay. Are you feeling like nervous?
No,
excited?
I've done this quite a bit of times, so it's the usual.
All right. Perfect.
Celia McPhee.
How long have you been volunteering for blood drive?
I want to say just under like 4 months, 5 months, right? Blood drive is from 9 a.m. to 3:30. We're usually here twice a week, but we don't have enough staff for tomorrow, so it's canceled. But if you download the app, it's easy to find local blood drives around.
They are here twice a week if you would like to get your blood drawn.
CSUF students are now back on campus for the spring semester. But the question is, can you find parking? Katie Doan has more.
Parking has always been a hassle at Cal State Fullerton forever. But last semester, we finally got a break in terms of having more parking than ever before. But now that everyone's returning back to campus, how has parking been lately?
It's been a struggle. It's hard to find it sometimes. Definitely, you should get here like super early if you want to get a good spot. Otherwise, you're going to be going around.
For others, the parking permit was a deal breaker.
So I do come early a little bit more towards the rush. So I could find parking on like the 5th floor. I always park in this one. So like the 5th floor, but the traffic around the school, it's crazy. It takes me probably an extra 10 minutes than what it did last semester to park.
Last semester, it was super easy finding parking. It was almost like scary easy. And now this semester is just back at it again with the same, traffic on State College and everywhere. And yeah, I mean, we're getting charged an insane amount of price for not even a guaranteed parking spot.
The new students coming this semester to find parking, we wish you all the luck. Until then, this has been Katie Doan in Fullerton for OC News.
Tomorrow, February 15, the indoor statewide mandate issued by Governor Newsom will come to an end. The state also lifted the requirement that people must test negative before visiting hospitals and nursing homes. This came into effect on February 7, but these changes will not come into effect for Cal State Fullerton. Brian Ponce is at the Titan Student Union with more.
Here at the Titan Student Union, while Omicron coronavirus cases are dropping off, Cal State Fullerton still isn't dropping the mask mandate. For Cal State Fullerton and its students and faculty, the mask mandate will remain in effect until February 28th. I asked people around the Titan Student Union event what they thought about Cal State Fullerton keeping the mask mandate in place.
I personally think it's good. I think masks are important because we're trying to stop the spread. Even though it's getting better, it still could get even better, and I think it's safe to keep our parents, grandparents, and everybody safe. So I think it's a good idea.
It's good. I think the mask is an important thing that we should always wear. I mean, where we are in the library, the food courts, anywhere that there's people around, I always try to keep a mask on because you just never know who has it.
I think it's a good thing. I think because the virus keeps mutating that we can't be sure yet, and it's almost one of those things where I think, better safe than sorry.
While this move is a big step towards normalcy, it looks like the mask will be staying around a little longer. Brian Ponce reporting for OC News.
Find out how record-breaking this year's Day of Love is. Renovations are being done at the Arboretum. We'll tell you what works are being done.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
While there are many things to love about Valentine's Day, inflation isn't one of them. All the Valentine's Day essentials will be costing more than ever this year as consumer prices are peaking. The price of a nice steak dinner is up to 154% from last year. And if you want a nice glass of bubbly to go with it, expect to pay record high prices for that too. According to the National Retail Federation, Valentine's Day spending is expected to reach a whooping of $23.9 billion this year.
The Fullerton Arboretum was recently allocated $1 million of state funding to complete some renovations. I headed over there to check on the status of these projects. The Fullerton Arboretum is a 26-acre garden here on campus that is home to a variety of plants and wildlife. Recently, the Arboretum was allocated $1 million of state funding to complete some much-needed renovations on the grounds. Part of the $1 million funding is going towards rehabilitating the aging lake and stream system here at the Arboretum. The Arboretum is pairing up directly with students and faculty from the College of Natural Sciences and Engineering to develop cutting-edge technology for water conservation, irrigation, and ecosystem sustainability. Another portion of the money is being used to develop the Friends Outdoor Terrace, which is a space that will be rented out for events.
Well, we have a former potting shed that we're going to be turning into something for the event staff, for more entertainment, basically.
The rest of the funding is going towards updating the dated signage and repairing the roof and chimney at the Historical Heritage House.
Because a lot of people come here for many different reasons. We have the Bodhi tree. A lot of the local Buddhists come here because in 2000 it was blessed by the Dalai Lama. They just come here to celebrate what he did.
With so much to offer, it is no wonder the Arboretum welcomes over 150,000 guests annually. These projects will cost more than $1 million to complete, but the money received from the state will be leveraged to raise additional funds to get it all done. Reporting from Fullerton, this is Elena Malik.
And as Titans are returning to campus, they may notice a few improvements happening. Dominique Tenori has the story on new outdoor seating areas here at Cal State Fullerton.
Cal State Fullerton finally had on-campus learning fall 2021. After a year long on online classes, students were allowed to return to campus after being fully vaccinated and mandating masks in indoor locations. However, with the new Omicron variant, cases have begun to go up. For spring 2022, Cal State Fullerton will begin their semester online for the first 2 weeks and return on campus February 7th. Cal State Fullerton added new outdoor seating for students to social distance when they return back to campus.
This is pretty cool, actually. I feel like it's nice being close to the library. Like, I don't have to go to the student union to just relax, and so I could just be here.
Now that students have finally returned back to in-person, they will notice new seating locations near the HSS Quad, in front of Landers Hall, and throughout Titan Walk.
Honestly, I'm really excited about this new outdoor seating. So I've been at this campus for about 5 years in between, before COVID, during COVID, and, post pandemic vibes. I can definitely say it definitely makes me feel a lot safer on campus knowing that I do have a quiet place to study or eat my lunch without, being interrupted with the hustle and bustle of other students.
This is Dominique Tenori reporting for OC News.
Next, this year's Super Bowl game makes history, while Kanye West drama goes viral.
And it was this Super Bowl player's lucky day.
I have a question about
Super Bowl Sunday could be considered a national holiday, but considering what happened last night, it might become a state holiday. Gabe Larson is here to fill you in on last night's incredible game.
Well, Titans, after 23 years, your Los Angeles Rams are Super Bowl champions. This technically is the first NFL championship won by the franchise in LA throughout their combined 55 years of playing in LA. After all those years, the Rams didn't disappoint as they put on a show for the 36 million viewers watching last night. Despite being in the Rams' house, the Cincinnati Bengals gave the Rams a run for their money last night, as over 70,000 fans packed SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Cincinnati not having been to the Super Bowl since 1989 or looking for their first franchise Super Bowl win. Both teams had a lot to prove as the game kicked off at 3:15 that afternoon. Los Angeles struck first in the first quarter as wide receiver Odell Beckham connected with a 17-yard pass from quarterback Matthew Stafford. And kicker Matt Gay was good for the extra point, putting the Rams up at 7-0. Cincinnati fought back when their kicker Evan McPherson delivered a 29-yard field goal with 28 seconds left in the first quarter, putting the Bengals on the board 7-3. The Rams delivered another blow as the second quarter of the game's MVP, Cooper Kupp, caught Stafford's 11-yard short pass, extending the Rams' lead to 13-3. The Rams began to lose control of the game when punter Johnny Hecker bobbled the ball after an extra point snap, and the Rams couldn't deliver the two-point conversion. Cincinnati continued to beat up on the Rams, keeping them from scoring all the way until the fourth quarter. Cincinnati scored 2 touchdowns and another field goal, taking the lead to 20-13. In a last-ditch effort, the Rams mustered enough offense, putting Matt Gray in position to score a 41-yard field goal with 1:50 left in the game. Cincinnati leading 20-16 in disorderly fashion, was beaten by the Rams. Both penalties were assigned to both sides, but eventually the Rams were able to come away with that final touchdown. Alrighty, folks. Also, if you thought the Super Bowl was the only place that had history going on, you might as well have watched the Phoenix Open in Scottsdale, Arizona. You'll see quite a bit of action happen there. Some may say golf isn't a sport, but they didn't make the greatest game for nothing. This past Saturday at the 2022 Phoenix Open, Sam Ryder and Carlos Ortiz scored their first career PGA Tour hole-in-ones. Love rained down from the grandstands for both men at the 16th hole at the TPC Scottsdale on the 240-yard par 3. Ryder struck his shot a few feet right of the pin and it spun left, good for a hole-in-one. Ryder is the 10th professional golfer to get a hole-in-one at the 16th hole in Scottsdale. Ortiz became the 11th when he played the back nine first, took his tee to the box, sized up the green, and let a 9-iron fly from the 178 yards. The ball landed some 10 feet short of the hole and bounded forward, rolled up close, and then dove in from the side. During both instances, play had to be stopped for grounds crew to dispose of all the beer cans and bottles that fans so generously shared with the golfers. Well, ladies, I think they should issue hard hats to the golfers now as a standard issue piece of safety equipment. Next time you go golfing, are you going to bring an umbrella?
Maybe hard hats aren't the worst idea. Thanks for the update, Gabe. Rapper Kanye West is back in the news again, but this time it was fighting Billie Eilish online, threatening to cancel his appearance at Coachella. West put Eilish on the spot last week after she made a comment at her February 6th show in Atlanta. After realizing someone was having trouble breathing, West believed that it was a direct comment towards Travis Scott. 10 people were killed by a lack of crowd control at Astroworld, hosted by Scott. Eilish came back with a response stating, quote, "Literally never said a thing about Travis, was just helping a fan," end quote. West threatened to cancel his appearance at Coachella after the alleged dig at Travis.
Whoopi Goldberg is returning back to the talk show The View after a 2-week suspension by ABC News. The talk show host was suspended because of her controversial comments about the Holocaust. Goldberg stated, quote, "I said the Holocaust wasn't about race and was instead about man's inhumanity to man," end quote. Goldberg apologized and briefly mentioned the controversy in Monday's episode before moving on to other topics.
Rams player Van Jefferson basked in the light at yesterday's Super Bowl game, earning a championship ring, then found himself in the delivery room hours later to welcome the life of his newborn son. Van Jefferson rushed to the hospital to join his wife after she had gone into labor during the middle of the game. After the game, Jefferson posted a picture of himself holding his newborn son with the caption X2. His teammates' victory and the birth of his son would undoubtedly make this day an unforgettable one. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you guys next week.